Hello?
What's up, girl? What happened after Tony dumped you?
Girl, I'm over it. I went from heartbreak to hate.
Oi,
Hi, Bob.
Joy. Oh, fuck off.
Same time.
So your guilty pleasure, as we just found out, is Genesis.
Oh, yeah. We can start with that. Listen, but is it really a guilty pleasure?
It's not. It's a good. I hate that song, but Genesis is a good band.
It is. It's one of those. It's a weird one because I feel like Genesis and Phil Collins were like people wanted to kind of act like you should be ashamed, but so many people loved that they were like, okay, we're just going to give that. You know what I mean? Like it was kind of one of those. You know what I'm talking about?
Do you want to give me another layer to that?
Give me another layer.
Bi-ness of Genesis and Phil Collins?
Please do.
Originally, Genesis' lead singer was Peter Gabriel. So when Peter Gabriel left the band in the 70s, so Phil Collins, the drummer, became the lead singer.
Stop it.
So there's two types of Genesis you have to like or love. So the Peter Gabriel Genesis, Phil Collins Genesis, Peter Gabriel solo, Phil Collins solo, and Mike and the Mechanics, which is the lead singer, which is Mike from Genesis and the Mechanics.
I don't know about Mike and the Mechanics.
Right. You know Mike and the Mechanics.
Do I?
It's that one song about your
know.
father. It's like a sad song. I can't remember what the hell. I hate that song.
Okay.
But we're not talking about hate.
We're not. This week is guilty pleasures.
Guilty pleasures. I'm still sick, as you all can tell. I think
Sick is just your new baseline.
Soon we'll just be doing this from a hospital bed. I feel.
That would be amazing. I could just like wheel the equipment in. If we could get me like a little mobile stand, okay, with mics.
Kind of like how my spice rack of all my musical equipment I have in the studio now.
I do like the spice rack. I knew you were going to figure something out.
Oh, yeah.
Bob is very musical now.
I got a band.
He's a producer.
Got a band and producing rap music for a new hip-hop artist named Miss Petty Cake.
Hey.
And that would be you.
Yeah, it would be me.
Miss Petty Cake, that's Petty Cake. With two T's and two K's.
And two K's.
Yeah. And two S's.
Yes.
All the twos.
All the twos. Listen, I like to double up.
Crooked letter I. You get that in the M, crooked letter P, crooked ETT. Yeah, I think we could wrap that up. As you all can tell, I'm also a hip-hop artist by the lyrics I just gave you.
Mm-hmm, he is.
But look for Miss Pettycake soon on iTunes.
But you got a band.
I do have a band.
And are you guys gonna? Do you want to tell us? Am I allowed to say the name?
Oh yeah, I mean it's probably going to be more of a band about being in a band than it is about being a band.
Okay, so Creep Patrol just be
Creep Patrol.
Okay,
is the band.
Just be a band about being a band, but not really produce music.
I'm producing music.
Okay.
And my partner in crime is worrying about other dick right now.
Oh, okay, I got you. So you're still in the building stages. You're kind
of the building stages.
You're kind of cooking it all up,
right?
It marinate. She's marinating in dick juices.
Yeah, she's marinating. It's my friend Laurel. Shout out to Laurel.
Hey, Laurel.
So we made Creep Patrol not because we're on patrol for creeps.
Nope.
But because we are both creepy people who stand off to the side and watch others. So, Creep Patrol.
Love it.
2 words.
Absolutely.
All right. That was a great podcast. I enjoyed talking to you guys today. Have a nice day.
We should just
do a short one and fuck off.
We should.
Let's do that one for the 52nd one. But today's the 41st.
Okay. So...
Guilty pleasure.
Sorry, yes, absolutely. So maybe we should just start with music since we started there.
Yeah. What's the most embarrassing band that you like? Or singer or artist?
Okay. All right. Are you
maybe not embarrassing for people who like that person, because the most likely is popular music.
Oh, yeah.
But because people know you.
Oh, yeah.
They'll say, what the fuck?
Absolutely.
Okay.
I'm ready to tell my truth.
Go for it.
Okay, it was a period of time. It was a dark time. Did you know somebody always has a lead in?
It's a dark and stormy night.
It was a dark and stormy night. I was drinking heavily.
Oh.
No, There was a period of time where I did enjoy Justin Bieber. I know.
Wait. See, because it's one thing to have a guilty pleasure show. What's another thing to spring craziness on me on live?
I knew you weren't going to be ready. I knew you weren't going to be ready. Listen. Because at the time, it was like, oh, this is like the grown-sounding Justin Bieber. I'm ready for it. And I know. I'm sorry.
So is this before or after dick pics?
Oh, this is before. Definitely before.
So sort of grown Justin Bieber.
Yeah, so sort of grown. But not really. Not before he went...
Still looking like a
fucking
lesbian
left.
Justin Bieber, or not looking like a
No,
lesbian?
like shorter.
Okay.
Shorter cut. You know what I mean? But
Sorry,
so
lesbians.
lanky and so... he wasn't hot in any way. Don't get me
No,
wrong.
but I
That's
feel
not
that lesbians took style points from Justin Bieber back in that time.
I believe that did happen. Yeah. I can neither confirm nor deny.
Right?
I don't want to speak for that community.
Don't speak for them. They're not here for you anyway.
Oh.
Ooh.
But yeah, no, there was like, it was like one or maybe like an album and an EP. I don't think it was 2 albums, but I can't even remember the name of the album. But nonetheless, I was like, oh, okay.
Baby.
No,
Oh, baby.
it was after the baby. It was after the
baby.
babies. That was the kid Justin Bieber, and then he entered like. I know you don't. Yes, listen. I don't know that I should talk much more about this. I'm ashamed. Okay, it didn't last super long, but it happened, and there may or may not be video somewhere. So I'm just trying to admit what happened.
Let me my eyeball pop.
What about you?
Well, as a music connoisseur,
Jesus Christ.
I feel that there's nothing I'm really ashamed of, but some things that might be shocking to others. That Jessica Simpson's "Boy, I Think I'm in Love with You"
Wow.
with that John Cougar Mellencamp from 1999.
Okay.
I DJ'd that a couple weeks ago, and it kept people on the dance floor.
Okay, I'm going to start a segment called What the White. What the White. I need to ask a question that Chris Rock has already asked. Okay? But I'm just going to throw it out to you anyway. Because Chris Rock has an old joke about talking about white people eating mayonnaise sandwiches, listening to John Cougar Mellencamp records.
Right.
Black people don't know what it is with you all and John Mellencamp. Like, can you please explain it?
Well, are you talking about John Mellencamp or are you talking about John Cougar Mellencamp?
Aren't they the same fucking thing?
They're the same person, but it's a different time of music.
Okay.
The Cougar was like around the 80s. That's when he kind of got more popular in pop music. Because John Mellencamp was around for a few good dozen years before the 80s hit and he started wearing jeans that showed off his balls and ass.
Yeah. That's the Cougars must be the years that I remember.
That's the Cougar.
What the fuck?
I mean, I can't speak for everybody. I'm not a major John Cougar Mellencamp fan or John Mellencamp fan at all. Can't say I'm a fan of his plastic surgery either. A little odd. But I don't know.
Okay.
I think it's because he's from Indiana. He's safe.
Gotcha.
Maybe little pink houses for you and me.
No.
No?
Mm-mm. Okay, thank you. I appreciate that. So that was our first What the White section.
Okay.
And we will now return to Jessica Simpson.
Yeah.
And what was the name of the song again? I'm sorry.
I Think I'm in Love, I think is the actual song.
Oh, okay, yeah,
Boy, I think I'm in love with you.
Yeah.
Got me doing everything.
And so you were loving it. You were blasting it in your car.
It was me and my sister who actually just text messaged me right now at this moment. She might even have sent me the Jessica Simpson song.
She did not do that.
No. I mean, it was like of those times when, she just said she loved me. Now that's what I call music was like volume 2.
Yeah.
It wasn't volume 3005 squared like it is now.
That's true.
So I mean, it was early on in those days when compilation CDs were a thing. Like I was a MTV the MTV Party to Go CDs was my gig back in the day.
Okay.
Like, I had all the motherfuckers. Like, I loved it. There's some remixes on some of those that you couldn't get anywhere else. Like, loved it. MTV Party to Go. Shout out. MTV, your shit now. Fuck off. So,
Nice.
Jessica Simpson. My thing was, I liked the non-Britney, non-Christina people. So I liked Mandy Moore. Mm-hmm. There's just something about Mandy Moore.
There was. I actually liked her
song
too.
is actually pretty good.
Yeah.
It's got some good, like, more. It's not really. I don't know. I can't say I really love all their music, but Jessica Simpson, this was before she had her television show and was completely a dumbass. You know, but I had seen, like, something of Jessica Simpson singing live, and she could actually really fucking sing.
Okay.
And so, like, have I seen Britney Spears live? She's had a longer career, but have I actually ever seen her live past Mickey Mouse Club, which wasn't live? I'm just saying. Christina Aguilera is a great singer. She's the best singer out of all those pop divas of that generation. But at the time, Christina Aguilera really was on some white trash skank looking shit.
Well, it was like, it's like you could just say it as Christina Aguilera wasn't Christina Aguilera back in the day. She was like another one of the, just another cookie cutter.
Shirts. You love Fringe.
Yeah. I don't want to talk about the Fringe.
No, but that's what I'm saying. You know, she was a little different. She kind of like looked like she might have been like balding. Like her hair was wrong. Just maybe they bleached it wrong. I don't know. She's a better talented person than the other ones.
True.
But of all the blondes of the time, I thought Jessica Simpson she had a woman-like figure.
Yeah.
She was not a bigger girl, but she was a more full-figured girl. And I felt that she was body positive for the time. Everybody else seemed to be wearing skimpy stuff. And I know there was that time where she lost weight and all that stuff, but she's a Texan girl, so she's kind of...
Yeah, she's like, this is what it is.
Yeah, that's her body. And so I liked her for that. I don't know.
No, that's good. It's a little shocking, given your general taste.
Right, because I like women who hate women like that.
Exactly. That's your usual repertoire.
I usually listen to women who would piss on women like that, no matter what body positivity there was. But yeah.
Yeah.
So that's mine.
Okay.
There's a hell of a lot more, but that was recent. So
I got you. I was gonna say maybe we should do another round. I could do one more. You could do one more.
Okay, go for it.
All right. I'm actually gonna cheat and not just do one band. I'm gonna say a genre because believe you me, this has to get defended. So here in the last
She's gonna
7
say
years,
words that's gonna make me angry.
like, so I learned to like some new country. I just said it in frozen time and just looked at you like
the oxygen levels are really off the charts right now. What are you talking about?
like,
Don't name names. I don't want to give them airtime.
listen.
I want to know what in the white you're hanging around that's got you into new country.
I'm gonna tell you how.
First of all, is new country spelled with an N-U?
I don't think so. I think it's N-E.
It's not N-E-A-U-X.
No, I don't believe so. So what had happened was, I used to listen to Pandora, right? And you plug in one song.
And she's a demon.
And then you just take a journey.
Right. There's no. Yeah, I got it. I get it.
Yeah.
What was? You can say this person, but what was your poly bridge into White Town?
Okay, so I already like indie music, as you know, and like anything
she
kind
listens
of.
to a lot of white people.
I do listen to tons of white people and like folky kind of things. So the bridge, the gateway drug, the Civil Wars. Have you heard of them? It's a duo. They're not together anymore, but
is it two guys?
No. It's a woman and a guy. The woman's name is Joy Williamson. I can't remember the dude's name. Big guess why I remembered hers. Anyway. But nonetheless, it's just kind of like more like a flowy, dancey, almost folky kind of type of music. But then I was listening to it and then I could hear like a little bit of twang and like violin, and I was like, oh shit, I think this is actually.
But wait. See, this is why I know that you're not invested in this.
Okay.
It's a fucking fiddle.
I guess you're right. You're right. I guess it would be a
There's no
fiddle.
such thing as violin in anything country. It's a fucking fiddle. So you gotta be thinking they have some Asian girl singing, like playing violins and like a whole orchestra.
Oh, no, you're
you know
right.
how Celine Dion used Asian people as a prop in her videos to play
Stop
like
it.
violins and shit. That's why I was referencing that. But
Okay.
I mean, like
No,
they play other musical instruments. Celine, like, can we get an Asian person playing drums, please? Just.
Celine is on her own universe.
But-
like she's living on her own planet. We all know that.
But if we have to segue into, I mean, are you done with your new
I'm done.
country?
That's it.
Because Celine Dion is one of my guilty pleasures.
Okay.
Now, she's a guilty pleasure by pressure because one of my best friends is a Celine Dion fan, and we would sing. She sings a lot better than I do, obviously, but we would sing some Celine Dion songs. We had some, we would make up words. We would do like a Weird Al Yankovic thing for all the songs we listened to.
Okay.
And so we had a few Celine Dion songs where we had different words. We actually wrote them out. We would sing those words instead. But, you know, I don't know. I actually enjoy Celine Dion's personality.
Because she's so eccentric and just.
It is like it's
Yeah.
that kind of thing. It's like if I knew her as a person, I would really get along with her. Like there are definitely eccentric people that I would not get along with. They listen to new country, and say words like folky, but
Fuck you.
but you know, Celine Dion's like I think Celine Dion would be one of those people that would like if you were out and like cops showed up to a party, she might grab the gun.
Oh, shit.
I just think she's that kind of wild card, you know? Or she might think it's funny, but
Right.
she grab their gun out
Like,
of the
oh,
holster.
look at this
and
practical
"Ah, I
joke."
got the gun now. You know, that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
And she's done some weird stuff lately. She has that not that it's weird, but she has that non-gender specific baby clothing line. Have you seen that?
Oh, no, I didn't know about this.
And it has this like completely oddball video where Celine Dion like breaks into this place where it's like what's that place where babies go when they're in the hospital?
Oh, the neonatal unit?
Not the scary one, but not something's bad wrong with the babies. Just
Maternity ward?
Yeah.
Okay.
So she like breaks into this maternity ward and just like walks through, and all the pink and blues go away, and all the colors turn into muted grays and blacks and stuff like that.
Okay.
And then she gets arrested.
Okay.
For
Why?
breaking into this maternity ward.
Gotcha.
So like, and it's really this weird like commercial. But she's like, I'm Celine Dion. Just like that's just like the whole thing, and I just think it's amazing. And I'm just like, yeah, it's Celine Dion. Like,
I'm going to look that up.
yeah, you should. It's pretty funny. Everybody at home, check it out. And I'm all for gender neutral clothing. I think that, you know,
It is. I see what you mean by it's weird because you don't expect Celine Dion to just have this clothing line, or is that just
but
me?
she's really down with the LGBTQ people. Like she.
Yeah, but
like,
does she even have kids?
No, her husband was like 4,000 years old
So
when they got
that's
married.
why I'm saying
He was,
it's
like,
a
12
little.
when he was
Usually,
16.
when a celebrity develops one of those lines, they have some kids or have adopted some. You know what I mean? Something.
Hey, she might have kids someplace no one knows about. That's Celine Dion.
Oh my God. Oh, hello. So, next guilty pleasure.
Yeah.
I'm going into TV land.
Oh yeah, the channel.
Well, no, just like
Oh, okay.
the TV universe. Because TV's weird now, right? Like, you don't even have to have a TV. You don't have to have cable or
No,
antenna. Because I don't have none of that crap. But
a non-movie entertainment vehicle.
yeah, exactly. Like they're everywhere, so you don't have to have all the other crap. So I am obsessed with 90 Day Fiancé.
Oh, my.
It's a horrible show. There's nothing redeeming about it, but it is one of those shows that you watch and you feel better about your own life. And I'm not ashamed to say that. I mean, just like all kinds of ridiculous bad, like there's just badness on all sides, right? Because it's like the American who's trying to bring a fiance over, they always have their own like massive glaring defects, you know what I mean? Red flags everywhere.
The Americans?
The American.
Oh, yeah. Like, they collect tiny figures, like pewter figurines. and stuff.
Or they're just like, they're so awkward, or they're so old and trying to marry somebody so young. It's always one of those, you know what I mean, type of thing. One guy was marrying a girl from the Philippines, and he lived in a big city. We're just gonna say that. And they're showing his apartment, and there's just bugs crawling in the background. Exactly. And I'm like, no. And he's like, I hope she's gonna be comfortable here. Like,
No one's comfortable with bugs crawling on the wall, ever.
ever.
How can you drink anything in that
And I'm
place?
sure the producers were like, this is gold. And that's the thing. Like, these people automatically, I don't even think they need much coaching to just create gold.
Yeah, no, so that's the thing, is they prey on those type of people.
Yeah, that's true. But, I mean, if these people are already, like, trying to import a fiance, you know. Like, how sorry are you going to feel for them, really?
I mean, yeah. I mean, I don't know when you get to that point of yeah. I understand both sides of that. Mm-hmm. The need on both sides of that. And we have a president that did it. So,
Exactly.
I mean,
Hey.
this is America. That was my James Brown impersonation.
Which was amazing.
I know, just like him. Same hair, everything.
And yeah, so no, it's just trash TV.
Do you would like to say what network? I mean, I'm assuming it's TLC.
I was gonna say I think it's TLC. Isn't that bad? Well, that's the thing. When you're not watching it on real TV, you don't have to know.
Well, I mean, if it's not like,
And that's the thing. If somebody said something about that, I was talking to a friend, and she was like, and it's why with the Learning Channel? I was like, that's because they gave up. They learned that when they used to do educational programming, nobody watched that crap. So now they
that
put
show on in the mornings that was like real doctors and real nurses
Mm-hmm.
every single morning, and it was like a 24-hour hospital, and like it was the real life of the ER, and that was what the TLC had, and then they had things that were that you learned about,
Mm-hmm.
sort of National Geographic type stuff, but not
yeah.
anymore.
Not anymore. No, because there's no money in that.
All
I
those
was like,
channels have
I
dropped
had
that
one
shit.
cousin who was watching the Learning Channel to actually learn, but that's just his gig. So nobody else is watching this shit. That they weren't watching it, so they were like, "Fuck it,
Fuck it.
90 Day Fiance," and then they've got the 90 days before, okay, and then they've got 90 days after. So like the before is when they're just really meeting this person. They haven't applied for the K1 yet. They're trying to, I'm telling
the
you.
visa numbers.
No, I've been drawn. Yes. Oh, because they call it the K1 visa like at least 7 times on every
But
episode.
you know what? Actually, I think there's multiple levels of visas because
There are.
I'm not going to get into why I know that because that's work-related.
We aren't going to get into why you know that, but for this particular show, it's always the K1 visa because they say it like 7 times every episode. So,
Okay.
Yes. Okay, I think I've said enough and I've gone into that dark world. What about you? What is
Well, I mean, you know this one. It's not a shocker. So I watched The House Hunters.
Yeah.
And I watch it because it also works my last fucking nerve. Because all those people are horrible.
They are.
And it's
They
like,
so are.
you're going, obviously, I don't know, for instance, I'm going to move to some country that hasn't been developed into anything. Well, I don't know. I know Czechoslovakia is a modern country, but let's just say we're moving to Czechoslovakia.
Okay.
And we want to live in the historic district of Czechoslovakia, like the original area. I mean, that's the whole country, but you know what I mean.
Right.
In one of the towns. But we want a modern house.
Right.
And we want what I like, the words that I love to hear is, we want an American kitchen. And so you like go to these countries where things aren't Americanized because we don't give a shit. They don't give a shit about having a large counter space because they work with what they got because they've lived in these houses and buildings for thousands of years.
Right.
We don't understand that because these McMansions were built in 1985 and then rebuilt in 1995 and then rebuilt again in 2000s. So, like, they don't understand that shit, but they always want the most space. But they want it to be the most authentic stones. I mean, they wanted Jesus to carve his name in one of these bricks. That's what they want, but they don't want.
They don't really want.
And they don't seem to know or care. Like, are there English-speaking schools for my children? Well, maybe. But probably not.
Right.
Yeah. And I think the one that has incited me the most is people who moved to Luxembourg.
Oh, no.
Because Luxembourg's this tiny little country.
It is.
And it's got like 4 other countries with like 20-minute drives, 20-mile drives to other countries. And they just seem to not care about the fact that you're living in these countries that have so much more history than America.
Right.
And they're only worried about if there's a place to park their car or, you know, and like people don't have vehicles like that in
Right.
smaller countries. So, but I watch it.
I know. I'm sorry. You bring me back to another one of the points about 90 Day Fiance that I always just find infuriating, and I often yell at my phone or laptop, which is inevitably almost every single couple, the American person will say at some point something to the effect of, well, so-and-so's English isn't very wonderful, or something like, we're trying to work on that. And I'm like, meanwhile, the American's not trying to learn, not one iota of the other. They're not trying to learn Thai or they're not even Spanish. Not even Spanish.
No one's.
This guy that was on the show, he was his family was Spanish speaking. His fiance was Spanish speaking, and he was like, her English is terrible. I'm really trying to work on that with her. And I was like, she's moving to a whole nother country. The least you could do is speak to her in her native language sometimes, for criminy sakes.
I mean, and that's weird, right? I mean,
so weird.
I dated that one guy. I won't say his name, but like, his parents speak Spanish fluently, and that's their first language, but he did not speak Spanish.
Yeah.
And I just thought that was like the weirdest thing possible. Like,
and I just feel like in general, like if you really love somebody and that's what you're trying to say you do, right?
yeah.
You'd at least want to try to learn, like, oh, I really care about you and I love everything about you. So, hey, what if I was to be interested in your actual language? I'm sorry that we're getting back.
No, that's completely understandable. Yeah. And that's also why I'm like, why do you watch that?
That's also why the people in the House Hunters are like terrible, like you said, because it's like we Americans just have this bad thing that we do. We go their places and we want everything to be what we know.
Remember I told you about the one where the woman just wanted everything to be white?
Yes, that was insane.
Yeah, and she was.
That was insane.
She was in a South American country, and I can't remember what country it was, but and a city, and the city was very like cute and charming, and it was called like the Paris of South America or something. I can't remember. It was sad that I can't remember the city, but like everything had to be white, and it wasn't just like everything was white, but there were things like there was metal on the handle on the microwave, and she was like, "But I just really wanted an all-white apartment, and that's just really going to throw me off. Like that's not all white." And I'm just like, "Are you fucking kidding me?"
It's just so serious.
So serious, and she also wanted like this gigantic apartment for $800, which I don't know the currency rates in other countries. So $800, some countries might be amazing. $800 in this country was not amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Like $800 there was basically like going to Chicago and saying, you want the biggest 4-bedroom apartment for $800, and then just like fucking laughing at you, or I put you on the metro and send you to fucking some city that's not even in the suburbs of Chicago, like past Joliet.
You may live in a closet for that amount, sir.
You can live on the metro in the where they keep the luggage. Thank you. Don't mind the 70 miles per hour speeds. Yeah. So what else do you have for guilty pleasures? TV or otherwise? Do you have other TV stuff?
I don't think I have other TV stuff. My other shows are pretty mainstream. I do have Oh, do I remember it? I had a guilty pleasure that was a fashion thing, which we spoke about fashion.
Yeah.
But I do sometimes break the rules. I can't even remember what it is. Well, I mean, we know I like to wear a ponytail at all times. Just insanely, without any shame. Just don't even pretend to do my hair.
So that's guilty pleasure?
No.
I mean, if everybody else gets
blanking.
to watch it.
That's the bad thing when we do this thing live is I'm blanking. There was something so good, and I was like, ooh, I'm going to be so ashamed to admit this, and it won't come to me. We can't talk about Breakfast Club anymore because it's like sacred to our generation because we don't see all the flaws. But if you tell it to somebody now, under 30, their head will explode because of all of the, it's got a lot of unwokeness. So anyways, moving right along.
But at the time, may have been one of the most woke movies.
I mean, we thought it was. We really did. We really did.
I mean, I'm making faces y'all can't see, but I'm saying with my face, just saying.
Yeah.
That
we thought we were learning life lessons and things about not judging people and such not.
Yeah. I thought it was lessons learned. Lessons learned from Breakfast Club. Sorry, y'all. I understand. There's lots of problematic things that we don't talk about anymore from 30 years ago, but we're still allowed to, in some capacity, like them if we want to. It's guilty pleasures.
Yeah.
They're all guilty pleasures at this point, right?
They kind
Anything
of are.
made in the 80s was guilty pleasure.
It
now.
really is.
I mean, you used to be just like, okay, so the 80s was all about money and cocaine. But now, apparently it wasn't. It was about all kinds of horrible things that we were doing to each other, which, I get it. Because, the fags and all, they're all there. Because the fag is used in Breakfast Club. Gluing butt cheeks together.
Yeah.
So, but you do have a guilty pleasure movie that I don't necessarily think this movie would be for the woke crowd either. But
Oh no, for sure not. I mean, listen, I think a lot of black people would even look at this movie and be like, "The fuck is this?"
Well, I think black people would look at it and say, "I'm not going to watch that."
Yeah.
First,
There is
white
that.
people craziness.
But I mean, sometimes you hunker down for a movie that you know is going to be horrible, but you prepare your soul in advance and you're like, sign me up. I just want horrible. Sheena is that movie.
Sheena.
Which we have spoken about it briefly before, but it's
but
just...
if you Beetlejuice it into someone's life, Sheena.
I'm just trying to convince more people to watch it because it is the best guilty pleasure. It's a horrible film, but it's also an amazing film. And there are a few films that I feel like really fit that category.
Yeah.
Like there's times where you can see the boom mics.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
In Africa.
In Africa.
Africa
Horrible.
or Brentwood, whichever one you want to say.
Yeah, the
they're
fact
in.
that it's like this white girl's parents die in like an avalanche. They're archaeologists, and they die, and so she's raised by this remote, clan, and just like one of their
Not
own.
a Ku Klux.
No, a tribe then, and she has this special ability to speak to the animals with her fucking mind. Now I just blew your mind telling you the synopsis of this thing.
I know.
It's wonderful
But
and
if you learn
horrible.
nothing else from this movie, you learn that white people are more empathetic
I don't think
than
that's...
black people.
I can't with you.
I mean, that's the life lesson.
You
from the
always
movie.
give people something that is not what they're supposed to learn out of something. You just take something pure and you twist it. No, I'm sure that would be somebody's complaint, right?
Right, because she's a white savior.
She is a white savior, of course.
But she's a white savior against white people.
Does that make it a little bit better? We don't
No.
know.
I don't think so. Black people can do it on their own. They don't need us.
I was trying to fit my movie, and you just stomped all over that. But yeah, there's a ridiculous love story inside of it. It's just got it's so goodly ridiculous on so many levels. There, I'm done.
Well, I will see your Sheena
Okay.
and raise you every single movie in that genre.
Okay.
So I'm talking Beastmaster,
Oh yeah.
Red Sonja,
I knew Red Sonja was gonna come out your mouth.
Destroyer,
Yes.
Conan. Like Red Sonja, hands down,
Oh yeah.
is a great movie.
Yes.
And they leave out all the horribleness essentially from Red Sonja because she is, killing people. In the comic book, she kills people because of being raped. So there's that. But she's killing people because of their family being murdered, which is a pretty common practice in the 80s and 70s movies. Like, you gotta get your family murdered before you get rallying behind things.
That's true.
It's a lesson you learn. Like, your whole family has to die. The whole village, not just your family. Everybody around your family, your entire village of people have to die. I think Red Sonja was like,
true.
her whole lineage was gone.
Yeah.
And so she was just out there.
That was a very common theme.
Yeah, Conan is the same thing. Beastmaster is the same thing. Just like you got to lose it all to find out who you are.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a life lesson.
At least
Is that a
from the
guilty
80s.
pleasure?
That is.
And remember that to be beautiful and natural is the birthright of every woman. And I wish you all loads and loads of loveliness and good luck.